Hi all, welcome back to Enchanting English. Today we are going to learn about a very important topic, that is primary auxiliaries. So come, let's start. The first one, before we understand primary auxiliaries, let's know the term auxiliaries. Okay, auxiliaries, if you divide, there are two kinds, primary and model auxiliary. So what do you mean by auxiliaries first? Auxiliaries means helping verbs. Auxiliaries means helping verbs. Okay. So let me give you an example. For example, he is playing now. A very simple sentence. He is playing now. Okay. Can you write the sentence like this? He playing now. He playing now. Cannot be written. This is the action word here, and this action word cannot stand on its own without this auxiliary verb. So this verb is helping the main verb to make a meaning. Okay, to stand or to make a meaning. So that is why it is known as helping verb, and the other word for helping verb is auxiliary verb. So is the auxiliary verb here, and this is the main verb, the action word, right? So this is the main verb, or you can call it as principal verb also. So this is the auxiliary verb, this is the principal verb. This is ending with ing. So remember, you cannot use an ing form without having an auxiliary before it. Okay. So this is an example for auxiliary verb. So this is what we are going to focus today. We are going to learn about primary auxiliaries in detail. Okay, these primary auxiliaries are verbs which are very important to make sentences, and if you don't make use of these verbs in the correct manner, you will grammatically go wrong. Okay, right. So I said this is auxiliary verb here. Same way, let me change now. Instead of he, okay, I want to write the sentence using present perfect tense. He has played already. Here, if I just use he played already, he played, you mean only simple past tense. Okay, I want to write the sentence as present perfect tense, so I have made use of has here. So played is the main verb here, and has is the auxiliary verb here. Okay, so I will be giving you in detail the different functions of these auxiliary verbs. Okay, right. So this is the main thing that you have to understand. Auxiliary verb is a helping verb. It helps the main verb. Okay, right. Now let's learn all the primary auxiliaries. Okay, right. To remember very easily, let's just think about the root form from where we get the other forms. The first one is be. The second one is have. And the third one is do. Okay, be, have and do. So if you just remember these three words, you would be able to make the remaining verbs. Okay, right. So the first one is be. Now from be you have the following forms. You have is, am. These are for present tense, you know that. And then you have are, is, am, are. Okay, present tense forms. Now after that was, were. Okay, right. So all these five forms are derived from the root form be. Okay, S is for singular, present tense singular. Okay, am we use only with I, you know that. R is used with plural, singular. R is used with plural, right? It is for present tense again. The next one is was, which is used for singular past tense. And were is used for past tense plural form. Okay, right. So these are the form or different forms of be. Okay, right. Now let's move on to the next one, which is have. From have you have, let's start with singular. Has for singular, then have for plural, and then had for past tense. Okay, so remember, has is for singular, present tense. So these two are for present tense. Has is for singular, have is for plural, had is for past tense, both singular and plural. So you say she has written a letter. she has written a letter. When it comes to they have written a letter, right? So they plural, so we have used have. She singular, we have used has. Okay. Now when it is used for past tense, she had written a letter, they had written a letter, both the same verb. Okay, right. So these are the three forms of have. And then the last one, do. Right. So let's begin with the present tense form, singular form. So the first one is does, and then you have do, plural form, and after that you have did, which is past tense. Okay, right. So we say Sheila does not have a pen. Sheila does not have. Sheila singular, present tense. Now they don't have a pen. They don't have a pen. They is plural, so we use do there. And then did, they didn't have a pen. She didn't have a pen. So for singular and plural we use the same thing. So these are the three forms of do. So remember, all these verbs together we call as primary auxiliaries. Okay. So all these verbs together you call as primary auxiliaries. And to remember it very easily, just remember these three verbs. And from these three verbs you will be able to make the remaining verbs. Let's now learn the usage of all these primary auxiliaries. First let's take, for example, the be forms. Okay, be forms we learned is, am, are, was, were. Okay, right. We make use of be forms in order to make continuous tenses, in order to make progressive tense. Okay, so as I told you, he is writing. He is writing now. Okay, is writing now. Is writing now. I want to make a progressive tense, a continuous tense here, so I have made use of is here. Okay, is writing now. I have made use of is here. If I write past continuous tense, he was writing. He was writing, the same. Okay, if I change the subject here, they are writing or they were writing. Right? Okay. So the main usage is to make present continuous tense or past continuous tense. Okay. Even for present perfect continuous tense, you use present, has, have, etc. these forms. So for making continuous tenses, we make use of the forms. Okay, right. And now let's look at the next one. The next form is have. I told you have. We make use of have for making perfect tenses. Okay, perfect tenses. So how do you write? He has written a letter. He has written a letter. For example, he has written a letter. Okay, has written. Your full verb is has written. This is the main verb here. This is the auxiliary. This is the main verb. Okay, this is the action word and this helps the main verb. Okay, and here this tense is the perfect tense, present perfect tense. Okay, now if you use they here, what do you write? Plural form. You have to write have here. You cannot write they has. They have written a letter, the same thing. And if you use its past tense form, you use had. They had written a letter. Okay. So we use mainly have forms in order to make perfect tenses. Both present perfect tense and past perfect tense. Okay. Now remember, when we use have forms, you have to be very careful, because have can be used as an auxiliary verb and as a main verb. So in sentences like she or he has a smart look. He has a smart look. Right. Here I have used has. Right. It shows appearance. Okay. Right. If I say he has a big car. He has a big car. Again I have used has here. It shows possession. What does he possess? He possesses a big car. So it shows possession. Okay, remember, in these cases you cannot use an ing form. You must not say he is having a big car. It's wrong. Okay, similarly, he is having a smart look. It's wrong. Okay, so remember, when have is used to show possession, you must not use ing form. Okay, but at the same time you can use ing form when you mean, for example, eating. He is having his breakfast. He is having his breakfast. here I have used the ing form. He is having. That's grammatically correct because here you mean eating. He is having his breakfast means he is eating his breakfast. So this is fine. You can use an ing, but in these two cases you are not supposed to use an ing form. Let's now learn how to use do. Okay, right, the usage of do. Do, right, we use do to make negative sentence, to make interrogative sentence, to give emphasis and to avoid repetition. Okay, right. For example, let's look at the sentence. He dances well. He dances well. If my sentence is this, he dances well. This is an affirmative sentence, right? Okay. If I want to make this an interrogative sentence, how can I make an interrogative sentence? How can I frame a question from this, right? This is dances. How do I write? Does he dance well? Does he dance well? Does he dance well? So I have made use of does here to make the sentence an interrogative sentence. Okay, right. Instead of he, if I get they here, my sentence will be like this. They dance well. Then how do I make it interrogative sentence? Then I'll use do they dance well? Do they dance well? Question mark. Again, you can see here I have made use of do. So how did I make an interrogative sentence from an affirmative sentence? By making use of do here. Okay. Similarly, you can also use did if your tense is in past tense. Danced well. Did they dance well? Right. Did he dance well? Right. So we make use of do, does, did in order to make an interrogative sentence. Okay. Right. Now, do is used to make negative sentence. The same sentence if I say he dances well. How do I make it negative? He does not dance well. Right? She dances well. She does not dance well. They danced well. They didn't dance well. They didn't dance well. Okay? Right. So this is how you make a negative sentence. Okay? Right. The next usage is, I told you, it is used to avoid repetition. Okay? How do you avoid repetition? If somebody asks you, did you read the book? Did you read the book? You can answer, yes, I read the book. That's a complete answer. Yes, I read the book. Instead of using all these words, if you just say, yes, I did. Yes, I did. That's enough. Yes, I did. So I have used did here to mean, yes, I read the book. So I can avoid using all these words. Read the book. So this stands for the entire thing. So I can avoid repetition if I say, yes, I did. Did you read the book? Yes, I did. It means, yes, I read the book. So here did is used to avoid repetition. Okay, right. Now, the next usage of do is to show emphasis. Okay, when you say, I did read the book. Right? If somebody asks you, did you read the book? Yes, I did read the book. Meaning, you are emphasizing, I read it. Okay. So, in order to give emphasis, you use did. Okay. So, here you have made use of did in order to emphasize the point that you want to make. Okay. Right. So, fine. I have covered all the different primary auxiliaries and their usage. I hope you found the session useful. Do keep using these structures in your daily conversation and in your writing. Thanks for watching. Thank you.